Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC. I'm Ken, and today we are going to look at some 3Flow9. Boom. Mind you, this is just the mid-pro flow skid for the TRX4M. That's what these guys are here. They're all TRX4Ms. On this guy here, you may have already seen the flow skid. This guy is the low pro. And this is really designed more for a buggy style chassis and somewhere where you need a little bit more clearance. It's ideally used with the roller bearing steering link, the RBSL, for the TRX4M. However, I don't think that's out yet because we don't have one and I have not seen it on their website yet, but it's lower and it lets you use that roller bearing steering link essentially. We also have the high profile or high pro, which is really ideal for trail trucks or just stock bodies, and it covers the entire steering link. It also has a little bit shallower angle than the mid and the low, and we're probably going to try to put that on this guy here. We do have this metal kind of skid here, but it's pretty low as far as it is taking up some of our ground clearance. And I think I just want to throw the 3Flow9 on there. And we're stock axles on this, stock steering link, and it should cover it up and kind of just clean up that front end a little bit. Not that this is bad, but I don't know. The 3Flow will help us a little bit. Even though it's just a trail rig, if we get up on a root or a rock in the middle of a trail, this is going to just help push us up and over. So that'll be pretty sweet. We're also maybe going to change our front bumper. I'm not sure what we're going to do there, but we'll get there at some point. So I'm going to go ahead and put the high profile skid on this guy, and then we've got the mid, which we're going to try out on this guy. This is the Neos Ripper, and it's running the horizontally mounted servo. So it's laying down, and I'm going to be curious how it fits on here. I'm going to see if this mid-pro flow skid fits on there. We're going to have to remove our brass, so that's unfortunate. So we do lose a little bit of weight, but again, you can add weight elsewhere, and sometimes you don't want that weight, right? Sometimes you want to actually be super light. So this is a great option for that as well. This is a ABS-like 3D printed resin. This piece here, this one's already scratched up because we had it originally on here, and then we got the low pro. So they did not come this way, but it's basically like an ABS resin print, and it's bonded with laser cut Delrin. So this is laser cut Delrin, and then this one's got this little bit of extra tape on it. I forget what the tape is called, but it's a super slick, maybe like Teflon type, not Teflon, but it's like a Delrin type tape as well, so that helps just make it a little bit more slick. So we're digging that. The angle of these skids is going to be right around 39 degrees, so that's going to help a lot with the approach angle. When you hit things, you're not just hitting like a 90 or 80 degree front diff cover. You're going to hit more of an angled skid, so that'll be super nice. If you've not used one of these flow skids, either on the TRX4M or the FCX24 or the SCX24, you are missing out. We have these on our SCX and FCXs as well. It's too good. I mean, it really does help you when you're hitting hard lines and trying to just get that little bit of extra slide over a rock. These diff covers, especially brass diff covers, are brutal when they get hooked on a rock and you're kind of just stuck in your high centering. So the SCX24 version, this guy here, it's a brass diff cover with a Delrin skid, and they come in multiple colors. So that is pretty sweet. If you're looking for a specific color, we're running it on this insane 8x8. We've got a video on this, full build if you want to check it out. It's like an hour and 45 minutes long. I'll throw it over here. Anyway, the Delrin skid here is just awesome, and we run it on some other rigs as well. And then their newest version is like a lower profile type skid, this guy here. Okay, and ours is brassed out. This is kind of a prototype version. We got a very early version, and so it's showing that it's brass, right? So, but the version they sell is coated, so it's going to be black coated for that super slick front, right? So this is a brass only with the powder coating, no Delrin skid, but it's much lower profile, right? It's like even less, but it's still better than having a diff cover with the two holes at the bottom that is going to be flat and you're going to get hooked on rocks very often. So we are digging that as well. And this is our Little Guy Racing Products Ripper for the SCX24. So Again, they also make one for the FCX. Back to the TRX versions though. They do have the 3 sizes, so that's awesome. The low, the mid, and the high. They also do the high and the mid in a full carbon version. So the entire thing is carbon printed, which is super durable, and it's a one piece versus the Delrin and the resin. We haven't gotten our hands on one of those yet, but it's going to be basically the same design, just a solid single carbon printed piece. Looks very cool. And it's also super slick from what I've seen. I don't have one in hand, but I've seen them in person from 3Flow9 themselves. They look damn good. And I mentioned earlier about how these are lighter than brass, of course, but they are heavier than the stock diff cover. The stock diff cover is like a gram, whereas this guy is right around 6 grams. And then like an Injora brass diff cover is around 10 to 12 grams, 10, 11 grams, somewhere in there. So it is still going to add a little bit of weight compared to stock. So just keep that in mind. It's just not going to add brass type weight, you know. Let me go ahead and open this guy up here and take a look at the mid. Now be aware it does come with different hardware. You can't use the hardware that comes with. You're going to want to use this. It's slightly smaller, but it works just fine. We installed it on the other one and uninstalled it and reinstalled it and switched it over, and we've had no issues so far. So that's pretty sweet. But it does use washers and M1.4 hardware. To get your front diff cover off, it's fairly easy. I'm just going to pop the 2 lower links off so that we can kind of angle our axle a little bit, and that will allow us to get into these bottom screws without having to take everything completely apart. Also on this truck, because we're using that horizontally mounted servo, we do have, I don't know if you can see it in there, but there's a servo tray attached to the rear. So our hardware may be too short. I'm not sure. We'll have to look once we get there. Let's get this out though, and we'll see where we're at. Right, so we got our old diff cover off. We were using an aftermarket. Funny enough, this one also came with M1.4 screws. So we're probably just going to use the screws that are already long enough. They're obviously already long enough because they were in there already. I'm hoping that this is going to work with the steering link here. I have a feeling we might be too close. It might need the actual low pro. Damn, because that is a little high. Let's pull off one side of the link and then we'll see. That's going to be unfortunate. I was hoping we could kind of tuck it in there. It might tuck. Hold on, let's see. Actually, it looks like it could fit. It sits right in the groove. We may be okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, it's like perfect. The servo horn is close, so just be aware if you're using a longer servo horn. And let me try to show you here so you can see that. We're just using the white servo horn that came with this aftermarket servo. There we go. And you can see in there is real close to that diff cover. But it does not actually hit. We need better light from this side. All right, try to get a little bit extra light for you there so you can kind of see that servo horn is super close. So just be aware if you're doing some custom stuff, non-stock stuff, you may have to trim. That's just normal, right? You may have to trim your servo horn. You may have to trim a little bit off the skid here. But again, actually, we've got quite a bit more room than I thought now that I look at it. I don't know if you can see that. Either way, I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work great. I'm not overly worried about that amount of clearance. It does rub just the tiniest bit Actually, I don't even know if it's rubbing. It looks like it, but it may not be. It's super close. But it's totally free. I'm excited, actually. I was worried it wasn't going to fit. Doing some weird stuff here with the horizontally mounted servo. I kind of expected it to not work. So I am pleasantly surprised. Let's go ahead and get our servo mount screws and diff cover screws back in. And yeah, get it going. And remember, guys, you are screwing into something that's plastic or 3D printed, so you just want to go until you feel a little bit of resistance. Once that has a little bit of resistance there, you can stop. They're not going to back out. It's not like it's going into metal. When you're going into metal, you know, vibration and whatnot will cause the screw to back out. But when it's going into plastic, it pretty much never just backs out unless you're getting super crazy with it. We did go ahead and use one washer on each side, and we did not use them on the top portions because of the servo tray. We probably could have used a little bit longer screws going through the servo tray. I think these are M12s or 12 millimeters, so yeah, they're the 12 millimeters. So unfortunately, you can't really get much longer screws in the M1.4s. I hear there's rumors of some 14 millimeters out there, but they're hex heads or Phillips heads, sorry. So 12 millimeters is going to be kind of your max. But it's totally fine here. Again, my main concern is just because we have this servo tray as part of that, so it's extra thickness. So the screws didn't have quite as much to grab on, but I'm, again, totally not worried about it. Oh man, that's perfect. There's a little bit of space. Again, I wasn't sure if there was space or rubbing because we weren't totally screwed in and tight, but there's just the tiniest bit. Perfect. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is awesome. That really cleans up the front end of this thing. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and get our links back in. And then I guess we'll do the Defender. Probably not going to show that, but I'm going to show all three once they're all done. But you don't need to watch me do the Defender. Come on, get in there. For some reason, I always have issues with the TRX links right here going into the skid. There we go. Bam. Beautiful. Again, fits perfect. It's definitely going to smooth out any of those lines that we're trying to hit. I'm loving it. These things are definitely worth every single penny. It's awesome. All right, we got all three. Our high, our medium, and our low. Our high has that UHMW tape on it. You can get that on Amazon. Post in the link below. But yeah, looks like it's going to work great on all these guys. So it just depends on what your application is, what you're looking for. And yeah, let's go get them out on the rocks. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it interesting and dig the trucks and the product. Now, I know in some of that running video, we weren't really pushing hard lines with crazy scraping on those front skids. But if you really want to see some of that, we got this video right over here with an SCX24 where just every single line was just banging on the skid. I think you get the point though. They are super helpful. Like I said, we run them on all of our, not all of our trucks. We have so many, but all of our comp rigs that we try to run on, we run on our class 2, our class 3. We don't really have a class 1, but if we did, we're going to run that skid. So definitely check out the 3Flow9 stuff. They have a ton of awesome products as well, not just these skids, and for all the platforms, for the minis, the SCX, the FCX, and the TRX. They even have some UTB 18 or mini capper stuff, so definitely check that out. And hopefully we'll be getting some of that stuff as well when we do our mini capper build. And we'll just keep showing you all the cool 3Flow9 stuff. I know they got some awesome like knuckles coming out, and there's just a bunch of other crazy stuff. So definitely check out these though, you know, if you want the high, or the medium, or the low, they got you covered. Also, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button for anybody that might be interested in this video or any of our other videos. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when new videos go live. Also, speaking of videos going live, if you want to see videos earlier than everybody else and with no ads, check out right down there where you can join the channel. So these memberships give you extra perks for live streams. And like I said, the ability to see videos before everybody else does without the ads. Once they go live for everybody though, then they'll have the ads again. Also, we make posts every once in a while that are members only posts. And at the highest tier, you get like stickers and other stuff like that. We probably have other swag that we send out once we get more of those higher tier members. So definitely check that out if you really want to help support the channel. Also, you can check out our swag. We're going to do some contests involving swags and members. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We're about to hit 5,000 on our subscriber count. And once we do, we're going to do a little thank you out to everybody that's helped support us, both through subscriptions, through watching the videos, through swag, and through channel memberships, all these different avenues. We want to say thank you to everybody. We're going to say thank you right now too. So thank you, but we'll do a video where we give away a free ready to run, whether it's a crawler or an on-road car or a off-road dirt buggy. We're going to give away something free that you want. So whatever you want, that's what you'll get. We're not going to make the choice for you. The winner will get to choose what they get. So that'll be pretty sweet. Anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed the video. Get out there and build something awesome. Car, community, course, and then smash it, crash it, and bash it. But don't break the expensive parts.